Yesterday, I noticed that our prices aren't 100% correct. Usually, the price for adult number 3, 4, 5, 6 in a private room would match the 6-bed mixed-sex dorm. At least that's how our pricing used to work. So I notified our person who does the normal daily pricing, and he said, yeah, that's probably wrong, so we should fix that. So I'm going to take this opportunity, since this maybe happens once every 6 months, to record the process so that you can see how I would do this. And I thought it'd be useful to see a real life example. Changing prices for an entire year takes a good amount of time, even if it's a relatively simple project like this. So I always spend about 5 to 10 minutes evaluating if this is something I really, really want to do. Like, I think through every part of the process. Is this going to affect some part of the business in a negative way? I have to think all this through so that I don't have to do this entire process and then later find out I was wrong and undo it. That would not be worth the time. Okay, so note to self, if I say something's going to take 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to take 2 hours. And I looked up a bunch of numbers, did a bunch of calculations, and I'm sure I could have done it more efficiently. But anyway, so the conclusion ended up being that yes, I should change the price of the per person for privates. Okay, so now it's time to officially change the prices. In the past, I would have just gotten started and used the first method I thought off the top of my head that might be an efficient way to do it. And then usually in the middle, I'll be like, ooh, this was not the best method. So I'm going to make sure the method I use in this video has been well thought out and actually is the most efficient way I can come up with, so that you and I both in the future don't waste extra hours changing prices when we don't have to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the availability matrix, and literally the only thing I'm interested in is the price of a 6-bed mixed-sex dorm. Base price, that's it. So I'm gonna deselect everything in the availability matrix, and then I'm gonna export my prices, as much of my prices as I can. So 365 days is the max starting today. I'm going to open that. Okay, and then I'm going to scroll to the end. And I see that even up until the end of 2020, I still have prices set. So it's possible I didn't actually export all of my prices. So I'm going to export more starting from the 26th of December. We probably won't need more than 90 days. And if you look at my prices starting on the 26th, at some point they all become 0. That means that's the end of all pricing for our rooms, and we haven't made prices for any dates after. So I'm just going to select these, copy, and paste them into my original one so that it completes the full year's worth of prices. So 25th, 26th, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And once again, I only care about the 6-bed mixed-sex dorm price, which is in row 5. So I'm going to delete all other rows. And that's done. So I'll move on to the next step. Next, I'm going to go back to Cloudbeds and see what the normal pricing is for the 6-bed mixed-sex dorm. See if there are any trends that can make the price change faster. For example, I know that our weekend pricing is consistently different than our weekday pricing. And, of course, there's always peak periods where prices are a little higher, but usually they're about the same price pretty much all year. So let's go back. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scroll and while looking at this row to see if there are trends, just back and forth, trends for weekdays, trends for weekends, well, when those dates start and stop, when something changes. So if I look at most of the year, I'll find out that it's generally $16 for a 6-bed mixed deck dorm on weekdays, and the weekend prices changes quite a bit, but it starts at $28 pretty early on, and then once we get further and further into the year, and this is where it starts generally changing to $30. So I would record the date where the trend is that it's $30 on the weekend. And that's the majority of the trends. So generally I go back and forth in the availability matrix a few times. The first time looking for the weekday prices and to record the dates where it's generally I can predict the price. And then I'll go back the opposite way and double check the weekend prices, see if there are trends there, and record those dates. And ultimately, I ended up with this. I'll show you. So I ended up with this information that pretty much the entire time, I did this a couple days before, from today until like basically the end of our prices, actually the end of our prices on weekdays, the normal price, is 16. Whereas on weekends it varied. It started out on certain dates at $28, then $30 and $45. The pricing even before, like between today and the 1st or the 17th of January, they were so wildly variable because this is a big peak period for us. So I didn't even record this. There is no standard price for that time period. So my plan right now is to go into Cloudbeds, tell them, hey, from this date to the 3rd, basically the end of our prices, please set per person pricing to $16 per person the entire time for Sunday through Thursday. I can tell Cloudbeds to do that, and then I'm going to go in afterwards and change the price on days when it's not 16, because most days it really is 16. And then after that, I'm going to do the same for weekends. So I'm going to say, okay, from the 17th of January to May, make the general price $28, then switch it to $30, then for these dates, do it for $45, and then I'll go back in and fix the weekend pricing that doesn't quite match these prices. So I need to make a few formulas in Excel in order to point out the days when these numbers aren't actually correct. That way, after I do change the price to say $16, I can go in quickly afterwards and change it to 18 or 20 or whatever on a peak period. So first I want to have a test to see if it's the weekend or not. You'll see why. So I just made a formula that says, hey, if this says Friday or Saturday, mark it as weekend. If not, just leave the area blank. So I'm going to copy and paste to the entire row. I'm not trying to train people on Excel though, so hopefully you already know how to do this. Okay, and then that's still a formula, so I'm going to copy and paste as values so I can use this in another formula. Now I want to figure out if it's the dates between 12/27 and 1/3. If the price on the weekdays is not 16, I need a notification. Let's test it out. Oh, it's wrong, and I forgot a step, so it doesn't interpret. Yeah, I see that it is 16 on a weekday, and yet it's saying I need to fix it. That's because these aren't actually, whatchamacallit, they're not numbers, they're strings or something. So first I have to convert this to a number. That's what this error thing is. Convert to number. And all of a sudden it does point out only the ones I need to fix. Okay, so I'm going to paste it all the way down. Okay, so there's a lot of fixables in the beginning. And there's like a week's worth there, and a week's worth there, 2 days there, 1 day there, 3 days there, but generally most days are 16. So I could probably go in and fix those manually pretty fast. So I'm going to do that. Okay. It's easier to do this with the Excel sheet off screen, so in Cloudbeds, I'm going to select long-term interval for private room only. This is the correct start date. It needs to go all the way. Oh wait, I went too far. January 3rd, 21. Yeah, 21. Okay, and only weekdays. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Double check the dates. Good. Okay, I need to change the per person pricing to $16 is what's normal. Okay, I'm going to double check this before I do it, be confident about it, and I'll try to do the rest of it really, really quickly so that the prices aren't incorrect for too long. So let me double check really quick that everything looks good. Okay, and I'm going to add interval at 4:52 p.m. I have to save it. And now it's just a time crunch. So I'm going to add another for my fixables. I'll move things over so I can see better. Okay. So the 30th to the 31st. For privates. Okay, it should be 37 on Monday. Should be 70 on Tuesday. Actually, this isn't the fastest way. Let me just do it this way first. Add interval. Save. Okay, let me do it here. Okay, so that was the 30th. Oh, shit. '30th and 31st, that looks correct. Okay, next is the 5th, the weekend of the 5th. Okay. Or the weekdays. Okay, so it's 23, the first day. Okay. Okay, I can't copy and paste on these, so maybe I don't want to do this. And then we have 50. $23, $50, $60, $60, $50, and make sure they match here. $50, $60, $60, $50, save. And I'll find the next days that say I need to fix them. Okay, third month, 8, all week. Check the top row, 25, 25, 40, 40, 40. That's the weekends, 25. And make sure the whole of the row matches 40, 40, 40. Save. Okay, next dates I need to fix. 19th of April. For the entire week. It's 26 until it's 50. Okay. Check top row again. 50. Okay, 26. Save that. Let's find our next fixable dates. 17th of May. Only for 2 days though. And then it matches. Okay, 45. Okay. Okay, September. Just for 1 day. Okay, so these all match, but not this one. Next one. 3 days to fix it. Two more days. And I think this is the last. Okay, that took until 5:02, so exactly 10 minutes to change the price initially and then fix all the individual ones. Now I'm going to double check that I did everything correctly. Everything. I'm going to keep the 6-bed mix like Storm and the per person pricing. First, we have to convert these to actual numbers. So I changed one of these to be wrong. I'll make another one wrong. 2. Oops. Copy that. Paste special. Okay. Now. Perfect. Those have errors, but those are ones I manually changed. These were actually correct. I don't see any errors. Good, so that means all the weekday pricing matches. Okay, so I have now officially fixed the weekday pricing. Okay, so let's cross this off. Now I need to change weekend pricing. So let's check when the prices don't match what I laid out here. So I have, let me write this down. 1/17/19, 6/5/20, and then 1/1/21 are when the prices change. 28, 30, 45. Okay, so 1/17. Okay. And then the next 6/5. Okay. Let's make that yellow. Next is on the 1st of January. Okay. Alright, so you want it to say weekend. And we want it initially to be 28. Okay, so there's a couple of days on the weekend where it's not 28. Some there, some there. Quite a few, actually. Copy and paste that there. And now, starting at the yellow, it needs to be 30. Look like maybe only one weekend is wrong on that one. 45 is the next, starting at the blue. Okay. And that weekend's all good. Okay, so I am going to hide this. So it looks like the most amount of work is with the first thing. I also have to set the prices before the 17th of January, so let me do that. Okay, so let's start on the 17th and go backwards. Just on the weekends, though. Okay, so it looks like 35. Friday, Saturday only. Okay, next weekend. 23 is the next. Seven. Okay, and these are way off. Oh, by the way, I started this around maybe 5:28 p.m. Okay, so I think that's good for the dates before I even kept track of pricing. Now's the time for the big changes. I'm just going to do them all at once and then go in and fix everything later like I did last time. Long-term interval for, this is starting at 5:31. Private room 117 to 5:30. Okay, and definitely only on the weekends. Gotta be careful with that. Per person pricing should be 28. Okay, double check the dates. 30 on Friday and only Saturday. 28. Okay, interval. Save. We'll add the next one quickly. Private again. From June 5th to till 26. Only Friday, Saturday. Per person 30. Okay, and last but not least, I need to go all the way. Okay, let's go there manually. See what was up with that. That's silly. Okay. Anyway, 45. Okay, those were the trend prices. Now I'm just gonna go back to today and see what I need to fix. Okay, 3rd. Oh, the 13th. Just one day on Friday. Okay, 40 it is. See. Okay, next month on the 17th, we have 2 days. Then on the 24th, another 2 days. And then on the 1st, another, no, not the 1st, 15th, another 2 days. 5:30 for one day. Okay. September 18th for 2 days. 40. Okay, I think that's it. So that's 5:39 p.m. now. After I'm done, I'm going to double check everything. So, one more export. Again, the export doesn't cover everything, so I need to start on the 26th as well. All the way. Okay, let's delete all the things I don't need. Why are there no prices? For certain run types. There should still be prices. Even if we don't use them. Ah, that is not a normal room type. I see. Okay. Let's delete all these types. I'm going to copy my formula from before. Make something incorrect on purpose. Make these an actual number. Okay. Good, it tests all the right things. Actually, that's all I need. So, the one I intentionally changed said it's wrong, but all other days they don't give an error. So, hey! So, as you can see, the actual process of changing the prices, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's not slow either. It's really just my double checking and making sure I'm doing the right thing first. That takes the most amount of time. I hope it was helpful for you to see how prices get changed for a year's worth of bookings on Cloudbeds and how I do it so that it's as efficient as I can get it to be at least, and also that it's very accurate.